making sure this is on. Are we live? There we go. So my name is Dr. Sharnael Wolverton-Sehon. I am just leaving a memorial for one of my very best friend's son, who at the age of 33, with all of this stuff going on, decided to commit suicide. And when I posted something about Eric Michael passing a few days ago, I got so many messages in my inbox of other people who had the same thing going on with their family member and their family member and their family member and their family member and their family member. And I am very mad because none of that had to happen. And this narrative that is going on, that somebody wants to keep going with this fake COVID stuff, not saying that COVID is fake, but the amplification of these numbers and all the fear tactics that are being used for people to keep this narrative going, so people are completely fried, freaked out, and even to the point of killing themselves. When young people and older people are losing their jobs and not knowing how to keep a business going when they've been closed for a long time, and figuring out how to do rent and stuff. Thank you, Trump, for the stimulus check. And also there's the reality of what's happening, or not. Actually, is it a reality? It's not. It's what's happening and what they want us to think is happening, but it's just not happening. If you know anyone who works in hospitals and works in clinics or is anything in the field, I mean, I was a part of a group of 1,114 doctors in California in January, and we've all kept up with each other, and we all know, and we've all had lots of conversations now since then about what's really going on in these hospitals. And not that there aren't people sick. Please hear me. I'm not saying that the virus isn't real as far as it actually hurting people. I'm saying that the way that it's being spun and over amplified and like ridiculously, to the point of shutting the country down, and driving out to see billboards on the way to this funeral of like insurance companies, putting their billboards up where now the insurance companies are like advertising, but they're wearing masks for insurance, or they're wearing masks for plumbing. I mean, what is happening? Like, what country are we in? I just, it's frustrating to no level of how they're trying to control and manipulate this whole scenario where everyone believes this. And now to the other side of that, so that's kind of died down-ish, and states are opening or whatever, and guess what? Now we got to have like the black and white scenario, because the murdering bees weren't working and the COVID wasn't working. So let's just like start a whole civil war with black against white. And so there's a difference between standing up for something and like looting and hurting people and killing people, and what happened, if it really happened, which that's a whole different conversation. But it's terrible for anyone to hurt anyone, for sure, 1,000,000,000%. And also, I have police officer friends who are black, and at the funeral, one of my friends was late because she had to make sure that her police officer, children of her police officer, her children with this police officer, had to have mace and guns, because the state troopers of Louisiana put out something to all the troopers and all the police officers that they need to be careful and to be aware, because there is like a manhunt for all of the police officers in Louisiana, that they're threatening to trace down these police officers and their family and kill their families. So she was a little bit worried about going to the funeral for someone who committed suicide over COVID, and now has to deal with the fact that her husband and her family who are at home could be hurt. So they're all like what the hell? Like, I get a call from my daughter in Seattle, and they're rioting. I mean, all this rioting and stuff. It's just like that, you know. And what's crazy is 2 days ago, before Eric Michael passed, I went out to get gasoline. And when I did, it was one of the first times I was out in a while. But I went out to get gasoline, and when I did, I noticed, as soon as I walked up, a man opened the door for me. And when he did, I don't know why, it just was like extra heartfelt. And it wasn't like anything COVID or anything I'm scared or anything like get away, but it was just like a nice gesture of another human to another human opening the door. And then we went in, we got what we were supposed to. We were about to get in line, and some other people were getting in line too, and they were like, this guy was like, no, you really go ahead, and like let us go in front of him. And then when we were leaving, same thing, like 2 different people like almost fighting to make sure the door was open for us. Me and one of my daughters. And I started crying because I was looking at this, and because each of those gestures to me were so like heartfelt, and I literally just started crying because I was like, people are good. People are good. People are good. I'm not gonna be tricked into this false scenario illusion that people are bad, because it's not true. People are just in the normal, your neighbors, your friends. It's not true what they're trying to like trick us into, that there's some other thing going on, and they just want us to stay on the like defense and on the threat and on the freak out. And you know, when you're in fight or flight all the time through all the different ways, then that's how we're easily controlled, that's how we're easily manipulated, that's how theta, their brain waves can really go in and program. And you know, I said it weeks ago, and I'm still saying it. And to the Republic for which we stand, one nation, under God, indivisible. You understand? Indivisible. Realize, eyes to see. Indivisible, united as one nation, one republic, one star nation, meaning earth to earth here, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And all means all. Justice in the very most important ways. And that doesn't mean that there shouldn't be justice for some races. I mean all. And rioting and hurting other people and stealing and looting is not the same as protesting. And these people are being paid to do that. You understand? Like, this is not, and or encouraged and manipulated to do it, because they're under the false flag of, this is important, this is the message. Just like Eric Michael, bless his heart, was so afraid that he thought he had to do something to leave. And there's multiple people. The suicide hotlines are up 600%, you guys, because Eric Michael is not the only one who is ready to check out of here, because this is not real. This is ridiculous. This is not this illusion they're trying to get us to buy into, when the real truth is people are good. You know good people. You are good people. This is the planet that I know. I've lived in multiple places. I've been to multiple countries. And everywhere I go, there's really good people. People who have hearts and who are loving, who help one another. And I'm going to keep that narrative. That's the narrative I'm going to keep, and that's the narrative I'm going to promote. I'm not going to fall under any of this dualism and this ridiculous narrative. I freaking want to have a big mass burning party, because to me that's just a representation of this whole thing. Is why these people are wanting to leave the planet and wanting to leave the country. I mean, but even where would we go? And because we're born for now in this, where this is not a time to leave, it's not a time to be afraid, this is a time to shine and to work all the inner stuff and everything that comes up, and just to love us and to stay and to be light and to hold that space of true love, truth. Truthers gonna truth. That's what I'm saying. Truthers gonna truth, and love will stay. Love's already here. When we are love, we can't lose love. Keep on doing good things. Keep on being the humans that we are. The kind, loving humans that we are. Keep realizing. Realize. You know, everyone had all these words for 2020. And, you know, when they start coming to pass, and we're actually seeing these things that are being uncovered, like a lot of people are like, never mind, that can't be true, conspiracy theory. No. When you have facts, that's no longer a conspiracy theory. And it's actually no longer a prophecy. It's a fulfilled prophecy with scientific backup. So, that's my 2 cents. You know, I'm a little bit upset right now because none of this has to happen. And businesses don't have to be ruined for people who spend their whole life, get a business going, and then it's up in flames, or people really physically getting hurt. And cops, you know, okay, so what if all the cops are gone? Dummy. Like, not all cops are bad. There's a lot of really good cops. I know a lot of them. I know a lot of good military people. And you do too. And this is just, you know that there's something more to all of this. And if you're not waking up yet, I don't know what it's going to take for everyone to get there. I was talking to Caroline, and her perspective, man, in the middle of her son being gone, you know, she said, in the dark, she said, if you're in a room that's sort of dim and there's a light, you can kind of see the light. But when it gets really, really, really dark, the light can be really seen. I mean, that's what she's telling us as we're all crying and sad over the ashes of Eric Michael. And here's the mom being the strong one, pep talking all of us, and like seeing the big picture and believing that God would use this too. So please just don't make all of this be in vain, okay? Don't make the businesses that are gone, the people that are gone, the people who actually did die of COVID, like, don't make any of this be in vain. Like, give yourself permission to see and to know what the truth is, and actually have the 2020 vision that many have been asking for. And like, do some research, look into some of this stuff, start looking into things and start realizing. And it's a lot to take in, and it's a lot as things are uncovered, and it's not going to be pretty, but it's still good. And I was just talking to my husband last week, and I don't remember what happened, but he said something like, yeah, 2020, because this is such a great year, or whatever. I don't remember what I wanted something to say 2020 on it. And I was like, you know what? It is what it is. It's still good, because if people can see, then that's how we can do something. That's how we can make the shifts that we make. And that's how we can work on ourselves and just keep on clearing and working through whatever traumas are coming up and whatever like hiccups are coming up, or whatever programming has been there that we didn't even realize was there, that we can deprogram, so we can get into God's source program of truth, love, light, happiness, harmony, unity. And we can remember our unity, remember our truth, remember our victory, that we can actually get our country back for God, one nation, under God. So if any of you know anyone, just one person who's woken up in the last 4 months, please, I'm begging you, please just say, I know someone. Like, that would be great for me, really encouraging to know that something matters out of this time that's been set apart for us to research and wake up. Like, that's something. If you just know one person, can you please just go, I swear I know someone, I have a friend who is waking up, or a sister or a brother, because I really need to hear that right now. And I'm going to stick to the narrative that people are good. In my scenario, my real standard is, and to the republic for which we stand, one nation, one earth, one star nation, if you want to call it, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. 2020 vision as one. And next Thursday, we're going to have a meditation prayer activation for this. And then at 7, I'm going to have a guy named Justin Deschamps and Kalyn, Kalyn Ann on, and we're going to discuss where we're at and what we can do as individuals in the middle of all this, because the more that we can get on one page and be on board and remember God and remember love, remember truth, and we can collectively help each other through this, the better, and the less victims that are going to be out there, because we're going to remember our victory in this, and we're going to keep the real narrative going, the real truth growing, which is we are unity, we are love, and we are good people. Good people are here. Good people are alive on the planet. Good people who have good intentions, who are here to help, are all working together. There's more for us. There's a lot more who are working together for the good than there are bad. And then that's not even counting like God and angels and like all the wonderful things out there off planet. So anyway, I hope this has been helpful. Please pray for your police officers in your state, in your country. Pray for your police officers, your state troopers, your military. I know through 3 or 4 different people that National Guard and different people have been called in for a lot of this, and troops, just to maintain balance. And you know what? My justice for all is not a joke either. I am believing that the people who are starting all of this BS and this narrative and this anti-population mission, population control mission, all the censorship missions, all of the keeping the narrative on all the social media platforms missions, all the fake news missions, all of those things is my highest, that anything less than love is taken down. And we can only do that by continuing to truth, and to be digital truthers, and to be physically truthers, and truthers gonna truth, and to keep doing that in love. And I'm not saying go bombard everybody else's Facebook and social media things and like yell at your neighbors because they're not getting it. But if you use your platforms to spread truth, please do it in a loving way, and please share positive things. things that we can all like collectively unify with and keep that vision, hold the space for love. Because one of the biggest things that they quote need, is the energy, our heart energy of being traumatized, fearful, all of that. They call that loosh, and they live off that energy, and they need that energy to keep going. But we don't have to give them that, and we don't have to be divided. We can just be sovereign and remember our sovereignty and remember our love and our harmony and be like, you know what, I'm not buying it. I'm not taking the bait. I'm not going there. I don't believe you. I'm not believing that. To believe means to be alive in something. And I'm being alive in love. I'm being alive in truth. And that's where I'm going to stay. And it's taking all of me, trust me, to stay. And I'm asking all of us as a corporate and collective to do that as much as possible, and just to keep the real narrative, which is the truth. Tag, share, put stuff on your Facebook. And again, please, if you know a single person who has woken up in the last 4 months, that would be freaking amazing. If you could just say, I swear I know someone. Because anyway, happy day, really. And like I said, my husband had said something like, well, yeah, 2020. But you know what? 2020, I said it is what it is. 2020 waking up and seeing is for the better and good for our ginormous shift in things. Because if we don't know, then we don't know. And we can't change anything. We can't fix stuff. We can't fix ourselves. And we can't have a better, harmonious, loving earth. You know, pick up the trash and clean up the water and like feed the children and eat good food and stay in the sunshine and be with people and love people and be kind and be polite and send a card or a note or make a phone call, text, check on someone. Just tell someone that you love them today. All right, I love you with all my heart. And I'm going to keep truthing. And I hope that all of you keep truthing with me. And keep believing for love and truth. And we will see some of you on Thursday. And for 6 o'clock prayer meditation. And also for 7 o'clock discussion. And bent over. Love you.